In today's step-by-step walkthrough, you're going to learn how to connect Apollo to ChatGPT to do all your prospecting, lead development, enrichment, sequencing, and workflows within ChatGPT. And by the end of the tutorial, you'll be able to have all the resources and knowledge that you need to just prompt your way in sales through 2026 without leaving ChatGPT. Now, a very important disclaimer that I want to mention is that due to some limitations of OpenAI's API and configuration, there's just certain things that OpenAI's app doesn't allow you to do. And for that reason, I would recommend clicking the link in the description below to see this exact tutorial, but focused on the Apollo Claude MCP. Because from my experience and what you'll see today is the Claude and Apollo MCP, just because of Anthropic versus OpenAI, not an Apollo discussion, it works a little bit better. But regardless, for those who are loyal to ChatGPT, you're going to see some really cool stuff here that's going to allow you to prospect within ChatGPT using Apollo. So that being said, let's dive in. In order to use the Apollo ChatGPT application, it's important to note that you must be on a paid plan for Apollo and ChatGPT. So before you get started, just take a look at your plan and make sure you are on any of the paid plans. Once you've done that, the very first step is logging into ChatGPT, and you need to access the app panel. There's two ways to do that. The slightly longer way is clicking your name at the bottom left-hand corner on the toolbar, clicking on settings. Once you're in settings, you'll see a pop-up appear, and then you want to click on apps. Once you're in the apps, then you will click add more, and then you'll search for Apollo. The faster way, which I prefer to do, is clicking on more, and then clicking on apps, and then in search apps, typing in Apollo. Once you see Apollo right over here, you want to click on it, and then you want to click connect. A pop-up will appear that will ask you to sign in. There will be a disclaimer explaining what the application can do. I would recommend, just for ICP searches, enabling the option for ChatGPT to reference your memory and chats with Apollo. This way, when you're building out ICP lists, it can dig deep through the conversations and memory that it's built on you to help you define your ICP a lot faster. So once you've done that, you want to click sign in with Apollo. This will then push you over to a new screen where you need to authorize Apollo to integrate with ChatGPT. And you just want to select this button, which is just your approval, which states Apollo prohibits model training and NCP integrations, which is what we like to hear. And then you want to hit authorize. Once that has been done and you go back to ChatGPT, a green pop-up will appear like a tab at the top that says Apollo is now connected. In order to proceed and start prompting your way in sales with the ChatGPT Apollo app, you want to just click Start Chat. This will take you to a new ChatGPT conversation, and you'll be able to see right next to the plus sign over here, Apollo has been tagged and highlighted so you can see the logo. And that basically means that whatever you're discussing within this conversation, ChatGPT understands it needs to utilize Apollo. It needs to do prospecting tasks, which is fantastic. For anyone starting from scratch at the beginning of every day, just to show you how to access that within your chat, I'm just going to click on New Chat, click the plus sign, click more, and then click Apollo. This is where you're going to be able to connect any of the apps that you've integrated with your ChatGPT. So I'm going to click Apollo, and now you can see this has been enabled. One of the biggest issues that users face when it comes to utilizing AI and LLMs is not knowing what to prompt. Because of the fact that we've been implementing the ChatGPT app for ourselves and our clients over the past couple of weeks, we've created a step-by-step prompt manual, a prompts library, if you will, where you can take the prompts that we've created as templates, edit them, and use them as is. This is going to save you so much time thinking, what should I prompt? To be able to access that, click the link in the description below, which is zachderis.com/Apollo. That will take you to this resource library that you can see on the screen. And then if you click item 5, which is the Apollo ChatGPT prompts library, it will open up this PDF guide, which is the prompts library. A text version of this is also available, so you can just copy paste. And the 21 prompts cover prospecting and discovery, enrichment, CRM actions, sequencing management, and full workflow prompts. To show you the power of the ChatGPT Apollo app, we're going to utilize the very first prompt from the prompts library that we've created. Head over to ChatGPT and paste it here. The goal with this prompt is to find X quantity of specific job titles within a specific industry in a location with an employee range. So I'm going to tweak this a little bit just to suit the knowledge and materials that I offer. And that's going to be find me 5 creative managers at AI native or AI focused companies in San Francisco with 1 to 100 employees. And I'm going to expand a little bit more so ChatGPT fully understands what I want to target, and I would recommend you all do the same. Therefore, I'm saying these creative managers are responsible for managing influencers and influencer campaigns for their brand. Therefore, it can be a variety of job titles from creator, creator manager, creator lead, or director of creators, or anything else that ChatGPT feel suitable. And I'm going to explicitly state only focus on AI native, Gen AI or AI focused companies, remove any agencies or influencer platforms. Instantly, within a click of a button, it's understood the task and it's going to go ahead and start pulling from Apollo to be able to find these individuals. It's found some good roles, but some are not suitable because they are influencer platforms or already in my orbit, which is very interesting. So ChatGPT has referenced previous conversations that I've had with it when I've been building proposals for clients, and it's seen that I'm working with certain companies, so it's excluding them. So first company is controller, then 2 leads for Gembo, 1 for Viscomp and 1 for WOM. So I'm going to say these are great. However, I want 5 unique companies. So 5 individual leads at 5 separate organizations. So we're just going to make a little tweak and we'll see what it's going to go ahead and do. Okay, so we've got controller, Fireflies, WOMP, Viscom, and Gemmo. That's fantastic. So it did exactly what we wanted to. The next thing that we want to go ahead and do is enrich those leads. To enrich the leads, you want to go to page 8 of the prompt library, which is the enrichment prompts. I'm going to take prompt 7, which is going to allow me to bulk enrich the leads. And I'm just going to add a little note here, just to let it know it's done a great job. And I want ChatGPT to enrich those 5 leads by giving me their full name, job title, company name, email address, and LinkedIn URL. And I'm just explicitly stating that it can use my Apollo credits to do so. We've got the name, we've got the job title, we've got the company, which we already had, but if we have a previous look, the initial name was not enriched, so we didn't see the surname. Now we see it, and we now have the email addresses and the LinkedIn URLs. The next set of prompts that we want to utilize are going to be the CRM action prompts, which are accessible on page 10 of the prompts library. So we're going to go to our ChatGPT conversation and we're just going to literally say, please add these 5 leads to my Apollo people leads list titled, and I'm just going to jump into Apollo. I have this leads list that I've created called ChatGPT Creator Leads, and I'm just going to paste that there. So this is going to create a new contact within Apollo within this specific leads list. And it's also going to dedupe to make sure that it's not going to make any duplicate contacts. So I'm going to go ahead and create the first contact. I'm going to create the next contact. I'm going to create the third contact. I'm going to create the 4th contact. And finally, we're going to create the 5th contact. Now, all 5 leads have been added to my ChatGPT Creator Leads list within Apollo. And just to verify that the leads are actually inside Apollo, we're going to navigate over to our leads list, just going to hit refresh, and we can see those 5 records that have been added to Apollo, which is exactly what we want. And that's it. Within a couple of minutes of using the ChatGPT Apollo app, we were able to identify 5 companies and individuals within ICP businesses that we can go ahead and prospect, enrich those leads together, their job title, email address, and their profile for LinkedIn, push those into a saved list. Now we can go ahead and add them to a sequence, add them to a workflow, and begin prospecting. So now it's over to you. Go ahead and use the steps that you learned in this video tutorial, connect your Apollo to ChatGPT, and begin prompting your way through sales in 2026. Build your ICP list, add them to Apollo, and begin prospecting. And if you do have any questions, as always, please leave them in the comments below. I come back periodically to answer your questions. And if you do need more direct support, you can message me on LinkedIn. Enjoy your day. Appreciate you watching this tutorial. Bye.